All right, our first order of business is public hearing case 2024 I.
Yes.
I'm making sure it was the one.
Yes.
This is being recorded. Introduction of the planning board members, Madison Pixley, Chair, Christina Brodeur, Pat Coyne, David Demers, and John Matthews. Our statement of authority, the planning board is established under Chapter 40A of the General Laws of Massachusetts and acts in compliance with Chapter 40A under the zoning bylaws of the Town of Hampden, Chapter 41 governing the submission and approval of plots of proposed subdivisions and the rules and regulations governing the subdivision of land in Hampden, Massachusetts. Our legal notice, the Hampden Planning Board will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, December 11th, 2024 at 6:30 PM in the Townhouse, 625 Main Street, Hampden, Mass. On the application of Fiore Grassetti for a special permit under section 6.11 of the Hampden zoning bylaw to allow the construction of a detached 30-foot by 40-foot metal building and the construction of a 22-foot by 21-foot metal carport with 3 enclosed sides which both exceed in aggregate area a square footage which is more than 1/2 the ground floor area of the main dwelling, including any attached garage at the Grassetti residence located at 115 Stafford Road. Information related to this application is on file in the town clerk's office and is available for review by the public during normal business hours. For the board, Madison Pixley, Chair of the Hampden Planning Board, published in the Wilbraham Hampden Times on November 21st and November 28th, 2024. Our reports received from other town departments and agencies, the Conservation Commission. The applicant will need to come before the Conservation Commission before proceeding, as the entire property, except for the house, is under NHESP, which is the National Heritage and Endangered Species Program. The middle area is mapped to include a wooded marsh as well as its 100-foot buffer. The commission also has a 25-foot undisturbed around the marsh. The town clerk reported all taxes are paid. The building inspector has no issues with Mr. Grissetti's project. And the Board of Health stated the new garage cannot be connected to the septic system and must meet all Title V setbacks and requirements. So, you want to present?
Yeah, I didn't know exactly how we're doing this.
Just tell us what you're here to do.
Yeah, can I actually get a copy of something like what you just read off later? Because I did not know I have to proceed to other venues after
We'll
this.
put that all.
Okay, so basically, we just moved in, probably within the last 2 months, if I were to guess. And my intent is to put a freestanding garage up because of the delay in the building permitting, getting on the schedule. I can't put this garage up in the middle of winter now, so we're gonna have to put it off to the side. So it'll be 22 by 21 carport is to house the vehicles for the winter. And then that will be dragged off to a different part of the property where I will eventually close in, since was quite expensive, and then use that to house my trailers, other things that would be inside of there. And then the intent is to build this 40 by 30 freestanding metal building to the back and right side of the property. We have 9 acres, plenty of frontage, plenty of side land for the setbacks, all that nature. So again, I'm not sure what else you would like me to present, but any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer for you guys.
So just for the board's reference, the square footage is more than half of the ground floor area, so they're half of the ground floor of the main dwelling, according to the accessory's information, is 468 square feet. And they already have a 140 square foot shed. So their proposed building is 1,200 square feet plus a metal carport, 462 square feet, which equals 1,662 square feet. So that's exceeding the bylaws.
Basically, what it is, a very small cabin, 950 square feet roughly. On the first floor, there is a second floor to it. It is unfinished at this time. I believe the house does have a 3-bedroom septic system. There is allowance for expansion upstairs at some point. Nothing that we're gonna rush into, but there is, again, more livable space in the house at this time. It's just not finished yet. Like I said, the people that live there had no intent of finishing the second floor.
Right.
Yeah, we came from a house in Springfield right by Allen Street McDonald's. I had a 4-car garage in my backyard. This is on a 100 by 150-foot lot with 3 sheds in the back of the yard. I'm one of the people that does not like leaving expensive things outside. I just bought a tractor the other day. My understanding, one was recently stolen in town, so that is not going to be sitting outside, nor the vehicles. So we want, just like putting stuff away, so it's not an eyesore. Not that you can even see my house from the street, but the way, you know, we like things neat in a way.
Understandable.
Mr. Grossetti, are these representative pictures of what you would?
So that is the freestanding carport, and eventually that will be closed in. I did order the kit for the back wall, but again, because I have to drag this thing later on, we're just going to keep the cars, the snow off the cars for the winter.
Yeah.
And so those are the actual, that is the actual building or freestanding carport that will be going up with the siding going that way. And the other thing is a real structural steel building, but it's not an oversized, not an eyesore. It's only going to have 10-foot walls. 10-foot walls, yeah, 10-foot walls, and it has a 12-foot peak. So it's going to have 2 overhead doors with a side door, all matching colors.
Is that on a concrete pad or?
The intent is to pour a full perimeter foundation, frost wall with a concrete pad. We haven't gotten that far because, as you know, Hampden is boulders, so it's going to be interesting when we start to dig that.
Right, okay.
With the frost, we decided to wait until the spring, because we had nice weather up until about a week ago.
Sure.
So.
Okay.
So will the carport go on a pad also, or on a?
Carport is going where the garage is going to go. That is just going to be on timbers, so that it can be anchored to the timbers, and then the timbers can be anchored to the into the ground, so that way the thing doesn't take off.
That's what.
I
That's where I was going
may
with that.
close in the sides, to be honest with you, as an added layer of protection, just so that because I don't want to put the back on, because when you go to drag it, that'll be an obstacle, but with the sides on, I still should be okay, but I'm planning on putting it on timbers so that it's elevated and I can anchor it. Both of those can be anchored.
Can it withstand heavy snow?
So I ordered, I had it designed, plus a lot of, extra money to have it designed for being a 2-car garage. It is designed for New England, engineered, I should say, and designed for snow loads and it has trusses. So I spent the extra money to get the good.
Yeah, my dad had one that he got from his
I
parents.
just had one in New
No.
Hampshire that is not a snow load.
Yeah,
And we had that bad storm at the end of the year and it almost collapsed. So this year I had to brace up the whole center and put new siding on the
my
roof.
dad learned that one the hard way.
Yeah,
He fell on
believe me.
my mom's car and my brother's car, which was his babies.
That's the first thing I thought about. I'm like, you know what? It's worth the extra money.
Absolutely.
So if I can, you said that this building, the 30 by 40,
Correct. It can be 30 foot across the front with the 2 overhead doors and 40 foot long.
you said that it would be placed to the rear of the property.
It's going to be, no, to the rear of the house. So
The rear of the-
basically, it's going to be offset on the right. What's happening is we have a wellhead that is, do you mind if I approach? So we have a wellhead. Here's my house.
House is here.
House is there. And then there's a wellhead, basically at about 7, 8 feet behind, like on the diagonal to the house. That wellhead is down in the corner of the house, 7 feet, right at the basement floor. So for me to put the garage any closer to the house, I'm gonna have to bury that line, which may not be a good thing to do. I don't mind ripping up the driveway later, but it's gonna be freestanding. So if you were to just, if you don't mind, here is the location of the house. The wellhead is about like here, and there's not enough distance from the wellhead. There's only about 28 feet from the wellhead to here. So my intent is to start at the wellhead, so that I can put in, the garage.
So basically what we're looking at is going to be, if I'm looking at this.
Yep.
Here's your house,
Correct.
wellhead here,
Yep. And then the
and
garage.
and then the garage is to here. Now, off of this garage, you're proposing to do a carport?
No, so the carport is only gonna be temporarily here for now.
Yep.
And then my intent is my leach field, they just put a new leach field in, and my tank is on the front of the house. So I'm actually going to put the carport up in the front. There is a little square. I think I
This
moved
is
that
one
in.
here.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the carport in the front of the house off to the side.
Like here.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got about 400 foot of frontage, 200 on each road.
And that's this.
I didn't know.
Yes.
Figured.
Yeah.
I didn't. Shoot.
The question, so it's more than 75 feet then?
It's like,
From
the
there to
house is
there?
probably 200 and, at least 200 feet off the road. So yeah, we're 150 easily each way. We're probably 125 and 125 each way off there. Yeah, I thought I had wrote down rough dimension of where that would go, with some frontage. I mean, what's that word? The space between the property line and the building.
Setback.
Setback, yeah, it's the word. Yeah,
Unfortunately, yes.
Here it is.
yeah, and it can be moved anywhere at that point, but my intent is to put it over there. I can drag it to the back of the property, to be honest with you, but I think it's gonna do well up in the front. Because that way I'm not dragging trailers, the tractor trailer, an 18-footer, so that's, it's a pretty good sized trailer to be really ripping around the yard, so.
Oh,
That's why I want to put it out towards the front of the house.
See, I've got woods,
All right.
the jungle.
Oh,
And basically, you're gonna store vehicles in it?
In the 4-car garage, yes. I'm sure I'll probably make some type of a little, area for working on stuff, table saw, things of that nature. I'll probably corner off a small section at some point.
Bless you.
I mean, to be honest with you, we sold the convertible, just the fact that we knew we weren't gonna have a garage. So would we replace the convertible? Hard to say, but.
No.
it's been.
That's for workshops. though. That's for workshops, this is garage. Any other questions?
So you're gonna keep the rest of the buildings that are on the property?
Yeah, right now there is just a shed.
Yep.
And a metal carport. The tractor is going in the metal carport and the shed is the lawnmower equipments. So in the new carport would more than likely be the 2 trailers. I have a standard homeowner trailer. I have the trailer for the tractor, and then I have an ATV. Now, I'm not even considering bringing home my boat or my side-by-side, but yeah, so, I mean, I've got a little bit of toys. So, yeah, I would want to put that stuff away, and what I have here should be sufficient to move things around and put whatever I want to put in it.
So, you'll have a total of 2 carports, a shed, and then eventually the 30 by 40
Correct.
structure.
Yep. Yeah, and they're spaced out on the property. They're all on top of each other. And I know my neighbor just put up a Butler building on top of the barn, as well as his good size shed next door. That was just put in 2 weeks ago, but his size house didn't call for any type of variance or anything of that nature.
So you'll have electricity on your 30 by 40 structure, or you'll have it?
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
more than likely put in a separate service panel. We're gonna be upgrading the house to a 200 amp service at some point too.
Okay.
I think well, so you guys have to go see conservation. Commission, right?
And where do you, is conservation in this place? I mean, in this
Yeah.
building?
Yeah. I'll show you where it is when you come.
Okay. And that is for, so basically where this is going is pretty much on the open section of my property. So we're not really, I mean, I'll deal with conservation at that point, but we're pretty much staying within the open area that's already been cleared in the property. And when you look at the town map, even my neighbors have lines going across their driveway. My driveway's clear and my clearing is clear of lines. So that's why we're staying within the realm of the open property of the house.
Yeah, that's just
But
the
yeah,
report we got from them, so.
Definitely, Phil will be there tomorrow morning and take care of that.
One, Dave, anything else?
So
All right, I move that we approve the application for special permit, case 2024I, dated November 12th, 2024 at 115 Stafford Road.
Yes.
Contingent that it's all set with conservation.
Yeah, contingent that the applicant goes in front of the Conservation Commission.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Thank you.
I have to type up the decision.
Okay.
14 days. I'll probably do it faster, probably by next week.
Yes, fine.
And then I file it with the town clerk. Then there's a 20-day appeal period. By law, you have to have a 20-day appeal period. And the 21st day, you pick up the certified decision from the town clerk. And you file it.
But I can go to.
You can go to conservation tomorrow.
And start
Yeah.
that process.
Yeah. I'll send you
I
the,
think I have to resubmit a building permit. Because they never took.
I remember
all
the
that
two.
to me. All right,
but
thank you.
just so you know, send you a copy of the decision with the letter.
Okay, and I don't really need that copy. I just didn't comprehend that. I had to go to conservation and
No worries.
I just didn't know.
We don't know until I send it out to the departments.
Right.
I don't know that until they tell us.
That's fine. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good
Thanks.
night.
You too. You make a motion.
Oh, I move that we close the public hearing, December 11th, 2024, 6:30 PM.
6:50 PM.
Oh, sorry, 6:50 PM.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, now we'll open our regular planning board meeting, December 11th, 2024 at 6:50 PM. Our first order of business is 28 Summers Road, Hampden Veterinary Clinic. Hello, how are you? Good, how are you?
I'm Dr. Peck. I don't know, most of you probably know me.
I was just in your office last week.
Yeah, and this is my attorney, Niles Courchain. And this is
Rebecca Lee with our Levesque Associates, the civil engineering firm for this project. 40 School Street in Westfield, Massachusetts, for the record. So we're here tonight to just open a discussion with the planning board regarding what permitting process looks like for the proposed parking lot that will be basically an extension of the existing parking lot for the Hampden Veterinary Clinic at 28 Summers Road. So we're proposing a parking lot on the abutting property. And it will have an additional 20 parking spaces. There'll be some light poles associated with the parking to promote safety and visibility. And then based on the stormwater requirements, there will also be a infiltration basin towards the rear of the proposed parcel to mitigate runoff. So just to provide brief history, the veterinary clinic was granted a special permit with the zoning board of appeals back in 2014 to demolish a pre-existing non-conforming building and rebuild basically in its place. Since then, business is booming. They need more parking spaces. That's evident. And this is just a solution in order to provide adequate parking for patients and customers. So it's on our understanding that we would require a special permit through the planning board. However, we are seeking your guidance on that.
Yeah. Be that plan or no?
I don't think so.
Joanne, do you guys have a copy of this?
No.
No. I have an 11 by 17 if you wanted to pass it around. And we are prepared to submit a full site plan set and stormwater report. We're just trying to figure out what we're applying for exactly. Yeah. Thank you. So that's the layout plan.
And I'm also open to input because, nothing's set in stone here. In terms of, I don't know if everybody can see.
I was gonna
I'm
say, can
try to
hold-
move it over here a bit. So we'll bring it around. It shows here the parking lots attached, but that actually wasn't my original idea. My original idea is to leave the entire tree line and make a walkway. I thought it might actually be safer to have a walkway and not driving through that area.
Yeah.
Because people are gonna be walking with pets. I thought have a walkway there. Have a ramp, because it's gotta be handicap accessible. And it can easily attach the existing sidewalk there. And not driving through there. And then we'd be leaving the tree line, we'd be having the same, how there's like mulch out front. So that would be the same in the front, so it'll all be like even, so it'll look nice. The signage would be like a wooden sign, not as big as the sign that's there now. And just a wooden sign that was the same similar to the sign that's there now, but smaller. Just gonna say Hampden Vet Clinic parking. It might have a light on the sign, but it's not gonna be a lighted sign or anything like that. It's just gonna be the same as the sign that's there now, just a smaller version of it. And then, I'm open to fencing, like wherever there's a butters, like if they want a fence, I'll put up a fence. I didn't really wanna put a fence here, like between the parking lot and whatever's left of the property, because I figured somebody's gonna develop that and they're probably gonna. Our parking lots may be contiguous, so I didn't want to put a fence there, but I'm willing to fence. And then in terms of abutters, in terms of lighting, I'm willing to take the town's suggestions on lighting so that the abutters are not disturbed by the lighting, yet it's still safe. We're not really open at night, like we're usually out of there by 7 o'clock. But, there does have to be some lighting associated with it. And then I don't know what you guys want for lighting in terms of like what's safe to have, so there's no crime back there versus the abutters,
Yeah, I remember. We can
But I
vet that
didn't-
through the.
I didn't really want to put,
Plan
I don't think it's a great idea. They showed it as driving, but I don't think that's the greatest idea. I think a walkway is a better idea.
So could you just outline the actual parcel for me beyond the parking lot itself, or is it?
It's the entire acre. I'm purchasing the
It's-
entire
yeah.
acre.
Yeah,
So this is all gonna be, it's gonna be, mowed. And, it'll be like a place where people can walk their dog.
okay,
And then obviously the drainage pond, there's gonna be a, fence around the drainage area, of course, a chain link fence. And then I don't know where my abutters are.
Right there.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so there's a
Here,
fence.
here, and here.
As you know, there's a fence right here.
Mhm.
And then there's a tree line here. So if they want a fence going up there, and I don't know if there's anybody back here, are there people
There
back
is.
here? Yeah, so if they
No.
want a fence like
No.
Wooded
back
area.
here,
It's a wooded area.
There's nobody back there.
there's nobody back
Correct.
there. So all that tree, all that tree line will be left there. And then I'm gonna try to leave this tree line, but I could put a fence, if it contiguous my fence, you've all seen my fence, the same fence at the back, so they're not disturbed.
And you'll-
Go ahead.
and you'll keep the current parking arrangement that you have, and this will be a separate entrance.
Yeah, the current parking arrangement, so there'll be a separate entrance here, and then, I'm sure there's regulations that they followed in developing this, but I think it's safer to just drive in, park, and walk through, rather than I think driving through is a bad idea.
I agree.
The question I have is, what's the frontage of the new parcel that we're speaking about?
So that will be incorporated into the existing, like an A&R will be
An A&R.
submitted once,
Okay.
once the applicant has acquired the property. An A&R will be submitted and it will be one contiguous lot.
It'll be one contiguous lot, and what would be the frontage be for the both of them? Do you have that
There's,
number?
I don't have the number.
Okay.
There's none required in business B, but I can grab that. I think I have a scale.
That's,
It would obviously be increased from whatever is there. but-
Okay.
So, let's see. 130. Another 100 feet.
okay. So the parking will be in front of the building that you are adjoining the two pieces. So that building, yes, you're, it'll be on the side.
Yeah, more.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
already
But the
parking,
parking will be in front of the front line.
there's already
So,
parking in front of it, right there,
Yeah,
that already exists.
yeah, and that
And
was,
then the other one, there's like two spaces on this side. I guess there's 1, 2,
three,
3, 4, maybe 5 spaces that's here, one for the front entrance. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. These would of course be handicapped.
yes. So the problem that I foresee, okay, with the planning board is that our regulations say that in the district, that all parking areas and traffic circulation within the parking areas in the districts, except for residential, shall be located to the rear of the required building setback lines. So your approval came through for which I have no problem with.
Right.
So the approval really for this would probably have to go through ZBA. That's my feeling, but I'm not speaking for the complete board. Do you understand the original, I
Right,
believe?
because there's 6 spaces that
Yeah.
are behind the edge of that building, or before the, in front of the edge of that building.
Correct.
Yeah,
And that was approved previously. It was if you will, previously it was a non-conforming lot anyway.
Right.
So when that planning referred it to ZBA, and ZBA handled the approval. I'm not sure, like I said, because of that, I would believe I have no problem with what you're trying to do, you know, the layout and everything, but ZBA would probably be the one that would have to approve this because of that one thing.
Can I ask a clarifying question? So if all of the parking was beyond the front yard setback of 50 feet, I think it is.
Well, so this, it said behind the front of the building. So,
That was the front yard setback.
no, it's here, I'll show you.
Okay.
If you'd
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I can give you this.
yeah. Okay, that sounds good.
That's great.
Rear of the required building setback line. All parking areas like traffic circulation within parking. It says setback, 7.545,
And that's the business.
but I guess just asking clarification, so required building setback line versus.
So the building, the front of the building is whatever it is right now, because it probably, I don't know if it made the 50-foot, that
Did, yeah, the frontage, yeah.
the front did.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
so
side yard was where it was non-conforming,
go ahead. When you say the side yard,
yeah.
which side yard? The right. Would we, no, let her
You're
speak.
talking about the original.
The original, yeah,
The original was set back more than 50 feet. So that original is 50 feet?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So what they granted you, I'm going to say, was the parking,
Okay.
okay? Because that's been in effect.
So if any parking, any new proposed parking is within that 50 feet, that would require an amendment to the original special permit with the ZBA?
That is my belief. Now, council may have another opinion on that.
Is there any way to reconfigure it so that the spaces were?
That's the next.
Beyond that
Yeah.
setback?
Yeah.
I think that's probably what we're gonna visit to
That's-
try to.
Yeah.
So clarifying question, if that was the case, if all of the parking was beyond the required building setback, then what would be the process for, would it be special permits through the planning board through site plan approval? Okay.
Because one, you're combining, you're gonna do a A&R combined. And then I would believe that you would then push that back a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay, so the parking is then in back of, I know it sounds a little odd, but that would,
Oh, I understand,
that brings us into compliance with this,
understood,
with this.
okay.
That, the thing about it though. I guess, yeah, it screws up the walkway idea a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah,
Well, the walkway is separate from the parking space.
Right, it's just the parking that would, yeah,
The spaces would have to move back, you'd still have the walkway.
so we could keep the walkway
Yeah,
within
but
that.
is there
50
a
feet.
regulation of how close the handicapped access has to be to a walkway?
I have no idea, that's not.
We would work.
You would
on
know.
That I-
details. I believe you have two, ADA, parking spaces as is, that satisfies the requirement
Okay.
for the overall.
Use the handicap ones in front of it.
Yeah, there's
That's,
handicap.
well, that's what I was just saying, yeah, exactly.
So maybe it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think we were just trying to maximize open space,
right, I
but
understand.
it's understood.
It may mess up your little area for where you're walking your dogs, but it'll give it a little setback also
Right.
from the road
Right,
too, so.
May I ask a question?
Hold on,
Go ahead.
About your setback,
Can you state your name?
my name's Bart Davis. Going between the South Road. About the building setback. Even though it's a separate parcel, can should be a building setback since the other buildings are on the road or closer to the main track? Does the parking have to be per building setback, or can it be like the bay, look next door is closer to the road?
The Bagel Nook building and my building are almost, in fact, the Bagel Nook set back farther than my building.
so those when they were built, you know, they're pre-existing. Okay,
Yeah.
pre-existing non-conforming.
Mhm.
We understand that.
Yeah, no,
So,
Bagel Nook's entrance, the Bagel Nook's here and my building's out here,
yes, yeah,
so
yeah.
good try though.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're thinking.
No, and I understand. I mean, I have no problem if you wanted to go to the ZBA with that.
That's just the process that you're, yeah,
Yes.
understood.
Yeah, I'm looking to my associates on the bank board, if they're in agreement with me or not. That's my opinion, only my opinion.
Courses of action. Both require a little more work. Revision.
And if we did hypothetically go with this plan, we would seek for the special permit amendment with ZBA first and then come to planning or
No,
For your
we gotta-
A&R,
We gotta put them together first.
yeah.
So you're gonna do an A&R first.
So you're gonna
You
buy,
gotta combine.
Fine.
so the applicant doesn't own that parcel yet, so,
So you have to wait until they own it.
but if they can't do it, then that might,
We're in a catch 22.
Correct.
yeah,
Catch
Don't want to
22.
buy it, if you can't build what you want.
right.
Right. I agree. It's, right, you don't own the property yet. You want to combine the properties, okay?
Once everything, yeah.
Right.
exactly.
So I'm trying to give you
Yeah.
what I feel the easiest way would be for you to come forward with us.
Got
And
it.
again, this is my opinion.
Mhm.
I'm not speaking for the rest of the board.
Right.
The rest of the board may have some other, you know, changes,
Understandable.
revisions, I'm reading this and I'm
Right.
saying I can't do this because of past history that was approved by ZBA. You want to go to ZBA because you want to keep the parking, and I understand
Yep.
fully.
Yep.
You want to roll the dice that way? You know, that's up to you guys.
Just trying to determine what the order of conditions are, so to speak.
Yes. So, does that sound correct to everybody?
Okay, so if, just to kind of put a bow on it, if parking is shown within the front yard setback, within the 50-foot required front yard setback per the zoning ordinance or the regulations, we would need to go and amend the special permit with ZBA.
If the
After
parking
the
lot stays like that, you'd have to go to ZBA.
After the two are
If you
combined,
move
after
it-
the A&R.
After the A&R, if you move the parking lot back to that 50 foot, then you come in.
But why, can I just ask, why does the A&R have to be done prior to?
It could be in conjunction with all in one. And I understand.
Yes.
The problem some of it may be, you know, you don't want to, you're gambling. So
Right.
the question is you're here before us. And I'm giving you the straight scoop saying that
Yeah.
if you push that back.
Yep.
I would have no problem with that, okay? You know, again, I'm not speaking for my other board members, okay? But you can go forward with some assurance saying that
Right,
if you bought the property
yeah,
and you move that back, I would be in favor of it.
Which would at that point just be an A&R.
It would be the A&R and the approval for the parking, yeah.
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 And then, like the lighting, from past, I would do something that's reflective to the actual parking lot. And maybe go see your neighbors and talk to them and say, hey, we're gonna put we wanna put a parking lot here. We wanna direct the lights this way. What do you think for like a soft, you can do like soft glows, so they're not super bright, and stuff like that.
we do have a photometric plan already in place. It demonstrates that there's 0-foot candles past the proposed property line.
Right.
And it would all be dark sky compliant, so,
That's pretty much what we would look for.
right. Now, just can I ask for a clarifying question? So, if we come to the planning board to seek a special permit for parking lot where parking's outside, within regulations, could the A&R be a condition of approval, or would that need to be solidified prior to seeking approval from the planning board?
Be conjunction with it.
What she means is could we issue the permit
Right.
on the condition that the A&R is approved? That way they don't have to.
Yeah.
Purchase first.
And
Endorsed, not approved.
yeah, I don't foresee a problem with it.
Okay.
Right off the top of my head, I'm trying to run.
Say
So,
that one again? Can you run that by me again?
Sure. So my question is, if we come in front of the planning board for a special permit for parking lot on this proposed parcel that is in compliance with the regulations, may we request that the A&R be a condition of the approval? So that the applicant isn't buying a lot that, doesn't end up ultimately getting approved. You know what I'm trying to say?
So
I do.
if the A&R is not endorsed, the special permit would be revoked.
it's a little different, but the condition would be listed. Saying that, the plan approval is, for the parking lot is
Yeah.
conditional upon the, successful purchase
Right.
and sale
Yes,
and approval
yes.
by the planning board for the A&R.
That's, yeah, okay.
Okay, something to that effect.
Yeah,
So it's like,
because if they don't purchase it, you're not gonna build the parking lot, so it's.
Right. If-
Right, exactly, right.
If you can't come to terms, yes, it's on the plan. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
And then what about the subdivision of the property?
yeah, so we would just have to submit
That's.
the A&R.
That's the A&R.
Yeah, we have to submit an A&R plan that just shows the remaining land. I don't know if you should have to show all the remaining land because it's a rather large lot, but
No, we wouldn't be, we'd be interested in showing just what your,
So it's just gonna show basically this.
Right.
Yeah,
The meets and-
exactly.
The meets and
Pretty much what
bounds
you
is
got.
certified, yes.
that's
No, that's
just
not your
remaining land
problem.
of whatever, yeah.
right,
yours.
Yeah, so not for that.
So there would be combined.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I forgot you already had that on the plan, your existing buildings.
yeah, so that's there.
Not too much.
Elizabeth, did you have any other questions?
No, that's what I wanted to know. Now I think we can go ahead with that.
Great.
Does
Thank
that
you for your
clarify
time.
everything?
It does.
Rest of the board in agreement?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I like that approach a lot.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to seeing you very shortly.
Very soon, yes.
I just suggest talk to the neighbors for lighting and stuff like that.
No,
Kind of thing,
no.
Like,
No worries.
You're good with your lighting, just follow the bylaws.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thresher Road, Paul Martins. Come on down.
Paul Martins, Ms. Juice.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
What are we doing?
This form, obviously, we're picking up where the builder, we have bought this land, and we're picking up where the builder. Got pretty far, as in the development, it's the 4 lots.
Okay.
Originally. We're looking to do 3 lots of family compound. So what this is the same property, we had, let us split it to 3 lots. 2 conforming, 1 non-conforming.
Okay.
And a private drive that's gonna come up, which are, entrance for all.
Common driveway.
Common driveway, yeah. So kind of next time here, I'm hoping I got everything that's needed and so forth, because I think he went pretty far, but so this.
The builder being
Rose.
Joyce.
Rosebud, but he goes by Beacon.
Bedrock.
Bedrock, yeah.
Bedrock.
That's the-
Bedrock Financial. He's got a couple.
Yeah, it's the builders, Rosebud, and I think the Beacon is the investment.
Bedrock, yeah.
Bedrock.
I'm all confused.
Can you show me what your
What?
Well, this is why I kind of manipulated this for the 3 lots. Exactly. This is more or less where it's going to be. Originally, there was, actually, let me show you.
Oh, it should be.
What it was originally. So before, what he did and, no, this one is not quite the thing, but this is for the storm drains. You see how the lots, 2 of the lots were non-conforming because of the frontage. And then, so I basically just took the same thing, if anybody wants to see, that's a 4-lot layout. And then took everything the same and just kind of just took the last lower 2 lots, merged them together, moved everything up a little bit, so it's about 10 acres, between each lot.
So it helped me out here. Yes, I'm getting a little old. Sorry. Lot C, what's the frontage on lot C?
So lot C is a non-conforming one.
That's the one non-conforming. It looks like the other 2.
The other 2 are
You've got
good, yeah.
225 and,
Yeah, that 225, we could probably, tweak, because obviously this is gonna still be more, adjusted properly better.
yeah,
But that, we can give some of that 225 to lot C, because I think lot C was 150, give or take, and then the other 2 lots, lot A and B are conforming.
156. Ish.
0.35.
so I think, and help me out.
Mhm.
I believe that, that they did a stormwater plan on
I
this.
think that's what he has right there. Or, I'm sorry, this one right here. This was based on the 4 lot, but the driveway is the same.
The driveway is the
Same,
same.
yeah, except for one, obviously, one part of the driveway that would go to that 4th house that's not gonna be there.
That one goes away.
So
Oh, this one goes away. Oh, so this became 1.
so I take it really,
That goes away. That house is.
the house that's proposed here on lot B would not be there.
Correct. So lot B is out. Lot A got pushed down more because I think lot A was only like 7 acres total. Lot A and B were 7 acres, so those 2 got merged together just to evenly divide 30,
Yeah,
Oh, lot A was 2.55.
And then
B was 5.69. Okay.
And those were 2 now, those 2 were conforming and he had 2 non-conforming, which we only 1 non-conforming, so everything was merged and split, so we didn't have to, I think it would be perfect.
So we're gonna be, okay, so no, understand that won't be a public road, the common driveway.
Correct.
So the town will be responsible for.
Correct.
basically, here's the fault. So he's kept this one. This one and this one are basically the same. What we've done in days, this one only, this one doesn't have 200. I'm gonna say lot C does not have 200 feet of frontage.
Yeah.
Really?
But it's
Approved?
10 acres.
Yeah.
They're all stuff. We're
So
waiting on.
what they would.
We were waiting for
is,
stormwater stuff finished, but he pulled out.
Special permit for that.
It's a special permit for this, I'm sorry,
For the
yes.
common driveway.
There'll be a special permit also for the. um, So he's gonna do this common driveway, which is here except for this. that went away. This, and he's moved these lot lines to make them all
And these.
not his.
Yeah.
Okay, this is neighbors down the street, I believe.
In my understanding too, that lot C, that house is set back so far because that's one of the requirements, because it's non-conforming.
Yeah, it's,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
you have
it's way back.
without getting into it.
Yeah.
150 feet back, it has to have so many square feet.
Correct. That's why I try to like mess with the A and B, which were conforming.
Yeah.
Because those were cut and dry, and I don't want to touch that lower lot C because that one was not. And the other non-conforming got eliminated, so I'm trying to keep everything as simple as possible, so, you know, kind of like all the legwork he did, I'm hoping that, you know, carries a little further than.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% on what he did, where he was, and if anybody can help me out,
So-
go ahead.
Sorry, you're asking about Al or the previous applicant?
Al
I think that we had-
Joyce, what Al did,
We've gotten through everything. What we're waiting on was the stormwater.
okay, so that's what you're waiting on.
That's what we were waiting on. So
That's kind of what I
I'm kind
thought.
of the opinion that we're somewhat pretty good.
Yes.
with the stormwater.
Is
So-
that what that is right there? I have that from him, but what is that? It was not a four, and that's, looks like it's, I had a title of,
So he
The
eliminated
site design.
driveway,
here.
water runoff or something, you know, so
Yeah.
I think, I
So
wonder if
this
that
one
got
lines up
done
with
Yeah.
that.
after the last meeting with you guys, and then he just never
Okay.
carried on.
This
So he can come back and
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
So, and then
Yep.
that,
I need to follow up with that.
so what
Sure.
he took,
How long
where
ago?
this
How
was,
long was this?
Uh,
This is around
he moved
I don't
this,
know, it went on for 23.
this property down,
23?
Yeah, I think it was 20.
Yeah.
and he kept this one,
And it carried into,
Hmm,
the frontage, if you will.
right.
So instead of getting 4 lots, he's gonna have 3. Two of them, two.
So I
of
think we have to get the stormwater, John, we have to get a stormwater report and then it has to be, get a peer review, is that?
yeah.
Yeah, so
Can't-
didn't get the response from Ty and Bond? Or did Ty and Bond, did he, in other
I think
words,
we had the initial,
what's that?
I think we had the initial report indicating what they required.
From Ty and Bond?
Yeah, and I think we needed the drainage calculations.
Okay,
That's what we never ended up getting, I believe.
okay. So, okay,
He didn't finish the peer review at all. I think he only did like a third of it,
meaning,
meaning he got back 2/3 of his funds. So
okay, so I think what we were looking for was the drainage calculations. That would suffice for, and I'm talking because I don't have what's in front of me from Ty and Bond.
Yeah.
So what Ty and Bond was looking for drainage calculations, not sure exactly why. I haven't.
Okay, what's time bond? I'm sorry.
Ty and Bond is our, when I say our, the town's engineering firm,
Okay,
okay? So they would take whoever did this engineering.
Yeah.
They would review it for the town,
okay,
okay, to make
Got it.
sure that it's in compliance with if any questions arose.
okay.
Al, I guess he was gonna do 4 lots, you're gonna do 3, so there would be some possibly changes, not a lot.
Yeah.
Because the surface, I'm gonna ask you, is the surface of the driveway gonna be? So those are.
Yeah,
I don't need-
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
you know, I'd like it not to be, you know, I mean, not granted the cost for a factor, because that's a lot of driveway to come.
It is.
And we were trying to keep it as rural, on a rural side.
Yeah, so some of it is, and it's a steep slope, if you understand, you've been there, obviously, you're looking at
Yep.
probably purchasing it.
Yep.
And I've been by it a bunch of times, and it's steep.
Yeah.
So I think one of the concerns was, and again, I'm going from memory here, which is not an elephant's memory anymore. So the question is, I think that the highway superintendent had a little question about, because that is, I'm gonna call it country drainage, and that was on Scannick Road.
Okay.
He was worried about any washout that may
Okay.
occur. Okay, that was, I believe, his concern.
Okay,
How do we alleviate those concerns?
okay. That's a question there, isn't it?
That is what- and it doesn't need an answer right
Okay,
away.
that's like, oh.
Yes,
That's
so,
on my,
yeah, I'm not looking to get the answer tonight.
yeah, so. I mean, by one less driveway, and there's a common driveway, but then there's an off driveway that go into that fourth house that's not gonna be, the house itself is not gonna be there, so there's none of that running out of that, so I'm hoping that will, alleviate some of that, and then, I guess we'd have to go back to time bond, or who do I need to go to kind of?
I guess I would ask,
Where he left off, where we gotta pick up.
yeah,
and
ask Al. You're in contact with him.
Al.
Joyce.
Road's the owner, it was all the realtors.
Oh,
Yeah.
for real?
We already
Yeah.
purchased.
Yeah,
You did
it's
purchase.
done, yeah,
Yes.
that's already.
And now we're looking to divide it 3 ways.
Okay, so
You have to do their own.
what you want to do, go back through your realtor, ask him for any information. If you got all of this information.
He said we had it all.
You
Yeah,
did.
we
Yes.
got everything. We got CAD
Okay.
files, we got everything. Now it's just, should I reach out to that engineer that did that?
So I think you need. So this is updated
That is my update.
that
That's,
you
Yeah,
did
the
or?
engineer that originally designed that part, he's retired.
Okay.
Now we're kind of like. Yeah,
Why? You guys
Yeah,
are-
I know, we're just, but the engineer that did the storm, I think that's a storm runoff.
Yeah.
That's somewhere out of asphalt. That's a totally different engineer. So
Yes,
I'm
that's-
assuming,
Stoddard Engineering.
yeah, so
Yeah.
he's obviously, if hopefully he hasn't retired, and get to redesign that to conform with the 3 lots as opposed to 4.
Correct.
So I think that's what has to happen, and then we would send that for the peer review.
Yeah.
When he applies for the special.
When you
permit.
apply for your special permit.
Yeah. Yeah, so contact Stoddard, ask him to remove,
Yeah, update that and get that.
update that,
and
show him
then-
what you're gonna do, and if there's any recalculation, there
Yeah,
might be. Because it's just one less, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know if he was doing pavement or if he was doing.
I'm assuming he was gonna do pavement because he was gonna, they're gonna do 3, 4 individual lots per se, we're not looking to sell off the lots and build, whatever independent, I mean, they are gonna be independent houses, but not gonna be sold out to independent, unknown people, they're gonna stay with them, so.
Okay.
So not speaking for the engineering firm, if it's, if you're going with paving,
Yeah.
the flows are gonna be different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they would be able to advise you on that.
Okay.
Did we confuse you or help you?
He's not pretty bad. It's like, wait,
Oh, no, I get it. I was just, well, the houses are gonna stay within the family. We usually don't get 3-family.
No, this is
Developments.
a.
And that's sounded
Yeah,
right.
that's
Oh, the gang's all here.
They're all here.
You're cheering.
Cheers.
Yes.
Yeah, their home depends on this.
Well, for what it's worth, my family's trying to do the same thing, but in Wyoming,
Oh,
so,
wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
yeah, but it's not as easy as.
No, it's you gotta get the right lots and the right, everything that's gonna line up.
Yeah.
All the stars have to align.
Yeah, and everybody's gonna be non-retired, so, they really put in this, I mean, I literally have to do this myself. As best as I could, the 3 lots, and I got it as close as I could, but obviously they're gonna have, other engineers gonna have to, make these more officially real as.
Yes.
It's what I kind of just annihilate and, I did and split it. It's pretty close, but
pretty- yeah.
it's not, and there's measurements that are supposed to be here, I think, from the corner point to back, which.
Yeah, that's all.
It's like-
Yeah, so the site plan it's all in here, so.
Yeah. So, but this was more so you can see what we're trying to do and, kind of see where he left off.
Yep.
And hopefully the next visit is,
Yeah.
whatever, bring everything that's
Application.
needed. Instead of going back and
Well,
forth.
it's
back.
applying for.
That would be the application.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, what you're proposing is not out of the question. Okay. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I'll go back and try to look at, yeah,
I was trying to pull it up, but I can't get.
I'll go back and look at what we did with, how we left it with Al, and if there's anything that stands out, we'll let you know.
Yeah,
That's,
it was pretty thorough, like all the stuff I got from him, but
Okay.
they're only good if I can,
I'll give you.
the firm itself is around.
That was-
To adjust it, so we gotta take care of that part. Then special permits back here after. And, after that step is, if that gets all done and good, is that when the lots get split, or do we have to come to another meeting for the lot split?
No.
Or is that something we're gonna need a meeting for?
Yeah.
So you're gonna basically, once you get it all divided up, split up,
Yeah.
okay? You're gonna do, I'm gonna say 2 A&Rs,
Okay,
okay, because the 2 lots are conforming.
yeah,
You're taking a piece of property and dividing it up.
yeah,
The 2 lots are gonna be basically conforming lots,
correct.
and one is gonna require a special permit for no,
Not a building lot
substandard frontage.
until it's.
That's in section 6, I believe, so. And then the other one would be the common driveway would be a special permit for the common driveway.
It's a 2A.
Does that verbiage come in that about the maintenance of, is that coming in with the lot division? Because I think that has to be filed somewhere about.
Or has to be.
You are correct. There has to be a maintenance agreement that's filed with the title, with the deed,
Yep, yep.
if you will, for the properties. Okay, because if the family leaves,
Yes,
sells their,
yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
it has to be an agreement of who's gonna maintain the driveways, who's gonna,
So is that will come together with the A&R, with that, and we're just trying to see, because we have to obviously have somebody draw that up. And I just want to make sure that, it gets, done in timely fashion, so everything is.
in the past, we've seen that, and alls we ask for is that it goes on record with the deed. Yeah. Or the deeds,
Yeah.
the 3 deeds, yeah. Okay,
Okay. I think that's it.
does that help you?
Well, it does, like, just trying to see, like I said, just where to step in and where to go from there.
So what you read,
Well, I'm not a board member.
No, for this, the special permit, is that something I could do on?
No, that you can come to see me.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But is he gonna subdivide the land first, do an A&R showing that it's 2 conforming and 1 non-conforming, not a buildable lot?
Yep.
That would be the A&R first, right? Because
You say you were gonna try to
It's-
adjust them to get them all conforming?
there's not enough frontage.
Yeah, I mean, the adjustment is gonna be more for actual
There's only 500.
measurements, that's,
Okay.
that's part, but that's,
you're gonna keep, like it says here, basically lot C
Yeah.
is your
We can-
non-conforming. So you're gonna need the special
Special
permit.
permit.
for that.
We can do it all in one.
And then you'll need the special permit for a common driveway.
Got
We can do it
That doesn't,
once.
yeah,
so the A&R should really kind of hold off. Yeah, that's,
No, the
You can
A&R.
do this all in one night.
all one night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll do we'll do your A&R first, then we'll do the site plan, special permit with the site plan approval for the non-conforming
Yeah.
lot, and then we'll do the common driveway.
Yeah.
Okay.
so the common driveway may have some issues with the drainage. That's the only thing.
And that's what I want to address prior to that.
You got
And
it.
I gotta go to this
Yep.
engineer, and then he should have whatever he has, and then hopefully Ty and Bond might have to get involved and see what they,
Yes.
It's just a peer review. So they look at our bylaws, they'll look at whatever he produces and make sure everything aligns.
Okay.
Yeah, you can ask the Stoddard Engineering if he has any drainage calculations.
Okay, yeah, I gotta see what, like I said, I have this and this is.
Yeah.
I know it's drainage, but I don't know
No.
more about it, so,
So,
okay, perfect.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much.
good night.
So good. Thank you. Spelled the same, yeah.
Jaziel? Come on down. Sorry, I'm just writing notes so I don't forget.
I'm just telling her I left the L off the end of your name, so I didn't want her to say it wrong.
Jez or Jez?
Okay,
No. My wife should be coming through the doors at any point.
Moral support.
Moral support and she was getting babysitters situated.
thank you.
Oh, we get it.
Yeah. You may want to read it.
So she'll come right in at some point. If you wanna.
If she can find it.
I know, she said she was stuck next, I don't know, some door on the side. I said, you gotta keep going around.
Come to the, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Oh, wait a minute, is it past 7:30? Yes, yeah, the door's probably locked.
Well, is that what it is?
Maybe she'll get in when they go out.
That's what I just
Okay.
considered too.
All right, the door's locked at 7:30. So,
That's what it is.
oh, somebody should get in. Okay,
There she is.
okay.
We waited for you.
Yeah,
it locked at 7:30. Sorry.
There's the boss.
Not really the boss.
Yeah, so I gave you a little pamphlet about myself. So my name is Jez Gonzalez. I have a doctorate in physical therapy. This is my wife, Jessica. We've been in business for 5 years now and essentially looking for a property to owner occupy.
Yep.
And there's a little bit more information about myself there. We have 4 children. I'm an all Western Mass kind of guy. We both went to Central High, almost high school sweethearts. We were friends then. And went to UMass Amherst, and then I got my doctorate at AIC. And after a few years of practice, decided to open up my own business, my own practice. So, yeah, so I know it's not as elaborate as the vet at 28 Summers. You know, this is mostly a preliminary, and it's a big ask. It's a big question. I know that the property at 16 Summers is zoned as a business. But the real question for you folks tonight is, can I operate my practice there? So I know of I didn't mention, but we're Wilbraham residents. We're very familiar with Hampden. We attended Bethlehem Baptist for a bit, and we still do some Awana Friday nights, if you're familiar. So we know Hampden pretty well. At the moment, our practice is in Springfield, 3500 Main Street, which is Chicopee Springfield line. It's a good haul. It's a good haul. So I've been doing that for 5 years now. It's on a good day, it's 25 minutes from home to here. As you know, it's a lot shorter.
Yeah.
And so, you know, yeah, so there's not many PTs around here. There's not much competition. You know, that I know of. There's another outpatient PT at the Restorative Wellness, which is like across the street.
Yep.
To the left, there's a nursing home. Off to the right. But that's, it's a nursing home, so it's out of hospital, skilled nursing facility. So you don't have an outpatient PT, or too many, you know, outpatient physical therapists. So that's pretty much it. That's, you know, this is a preliminary ask. I know if you guys grant it, that I'd have to get a special permit, I believe. So I'm all ears. Right now, you know, I'm looking at rehabbing the place. I'm not looking at making any new existing buildings. I'm not, you know, the driveways are what they are. I see a client per 45 minutes. So there's not going to be a whole lot of traffic in and out. I don't think. You know, I have 3 part-time employees at the moment, which one of them lives in Westfield, and we've had a good talk, you know, it is what it is.
I drive to Westfield every day.
Yeah. So we'll see, maybe she'll continue to stay with us. So 3 part-time employees, there's not many vehicles, you know, I don't see any changes with the driveways. And I'm basically just cleaning up, putting some paint, taking care of landscape, you know, try to beautify it a bit. And, you know, that's pretty much it. Yeah. 16 Summers Road, yeah.
16 Summers Road. So you'll keep the existing home or building, I'm gonna say, okay?
Yes.
It was a home at one
Yeah.
time, a long time
Yep.
ago. And what you're thinking of doing is, because you said you had other employees, if I can. Had 3 other employees. So those, I'm gonna ask, one is a receptionist and maybe 2 other physical therapists, or help me out with that?
Yeah. So 2 of them are, so one is a receptionist and 2 of them are techs.
Okay,
One tech is a sports biologist, Springfield grad, so he does some training.
yeah,
He's actually a power lifter too. And then the receptionist is also a personal trainer.
okay,
So, they kind of help me out throughout the day,
Yep.
kind of figure it all out, it's.
yeah. I'm trying to visualize,
Sure.
it's got the horseshoe, if you will, driveway goes
Right.
around.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, pretty familiar with it, trust me.
It's been around.
I've,
It's been around for a long time, that property.
yes, it has. I used to work there.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
When I was first came to
Okay.
town, I worked at the nursery that was there.
Oh, that's.
So I'm very familiar with it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll have a lot of questions then afterwards.
I don't have time.
So one of my, sorry to interrupt you, so one of, I won't go into too much detail, but, I'd love to keep it, original to Hampden, and take advice from, everybody in town, I love the idea that that farmhouse has been, there and it's got the circa, 1800 on it and, so. Yeah.
So would you park? How would you do the parking? Would you keep the barn?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're gonna keep the barn, the parking,
All the structures are staying.
all the
same spot.
structures are
Yep.
gonna stay.
As long as they
You are the
can,
boss.
as long as they can.
Yeah.
So, John,
Yeah.
it's
As long as
already
they
a
don't have to.
business in a business district, so it's just a change of use.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's a business zone.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's really no issue. The only issue you may have coming forward to us is,
Mhm.
where's your employee parking? Where's the
And that's just a site-
station parking? Something, a little site plan. Yeah, a
Okay.
site plan.
Sure.
But otherwise, I don't foresee a problem with that.
Yeah.
Like you said, yeah, it's just a change of use.
Okay.
What you do in the inside of the building doesn't matter to us. Even the outside, you can paint it and make it nice, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I welcome you, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Appreciate that.
There's there's room for employee parking. There's some side lots on either side of those barns.
Yes.
And then there's the horseshoe drive through.
Yeah.
And there's like a nice space. We talked about that a little bit when we walked through this.
Great.
She's gonna take,
Take an acre.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you're looking at that whole property, the vet is gonna take to the,
The acre.
she's gonna be your neighbor.
That parking lot will be there.
And then,
Mhm.
you're basically to the right. So, yeah. Yeah.
I have it up on the map if you want to see it live.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty familiar with it.
You know a little thing about that property.
I spent a lot of time there, trust me, a lot of time. But I don't foresee a problem with that.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
great.
That's awesome news.
It is,
Yeah.
see something in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
All right.
Good luck.
So they would come to us
After,
for,
yeah, so what's the next steps?
Maddie, site plan. review.
So you just come in for the change of use and site plan, once you have your parking figured out, we would just check that out.
Just present that piece for
Yeah.
it and then the permit.
It's, cause we just be in parking.
Just.
Yeah, a layout of the parking.
Not engineer.
Huh?
Doesn't need to be engineered.
Not engineered, no.
Okay.
It would be like your business plan. I'll give you the information. I have a checklist, but it's not a special permit whole process. It's a
No.
one night, come here, present to the board what you're doing.
Okay.
Simple application, provide the information, and that's,
Okay.
That might be the easiest part of this project.
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Then go for all your permitting.
That's
your
right.
building, Whatever you gotta do.
Sounds good. Awesome.
Great, thank you, guys.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
Have a great,
Thank you
you as
so much,
well.
guys.
So look forward to seeing you.
That was quick. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you waited.
Quickest one for the night.
Thank you, guys. Nice meeting you, and I hope to.
Look forward to
with
seeing
you guys all at some point.
All right, take care.
So much.
Excellent, thank you.
Oh, good.
That would be nice to have that there.
That'd be great.
I get it for my shoulder already.
Okay.
All right.
I know, a lot of people do that.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Yeah, you bought, oh, no, that's.
No. This is Park, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how are you?
Good area.
Good, good.
That's.
Clark, a lot of dumpsters over there, still thrown out stuff.
Yeah.
Great.
Hay wagon.
That's where we're gonna put it, but the White House is the gun. Buying it or renting, I don't know. We didn't. Buying. That's the demand one. He owns it now. Owns it now. I don't know if. it's
All right,
fine.
Clark. What are you doing?
So we're moving off of Wilbraham Road, huh?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, we got our own place now.
that's right.
I haven't been by, but Patrick said that, you're building a new building
Dan next
No,
door.
that's next door.
next door.
Yeah,
You're gonna use the,
existing barn.
yep, that's right along the road.
Yeah,
You move into the house too?
yes, I have.
Oh, you have, yeah. How about the field? You're gonna keep the field the way it is, all mowed and everything, or what are you planning on? If I can ask you.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue it as hay, currently, and, try to get a grasp on the 40 acres of pretty much clear property.
Yeah,
And, work towards that, and then, I also lease some land in Munson. I have a stand there, and I plan to put a stand in the front of the house, in front of the barn.
yeah.
And then plant some vegetables and maybe put up a greenhouse and stuff like that.
Okay, I know you would, you were planting vegetables on Wilbraham Road. Or
Yeah.
whatever, and a little bigger scale, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna utilize the barn for your little farm stand, or are you gonna, like you did on Wilbraham Road with the little wagon or whatever out front?
So it'll, first thing will be a wagon,
Yeah,
and then I'd like to eventually build something inside the barn.
okay, yeah, gotcha.
So
And
just think differentiating between farm stand and farm business.
Stand is only.
Isn't it
seasonal.
green one?
So,
business is on 5 acres and more.
5 acres.
right,
Okay, so you are going with the business.
Yeah, it's in farm business.
Okay, I should have read further down.
that's okay. And that has to, I think that is in alignment with the state requirements for agricultural. I believe chapter 3 says something about 5 acres. So yeah, that's why I was asking. You're gonna do the hay, you're gonna do some vegetables, basically.
Yeah, and maybe down the road a greenhouse.
Yeah, greenhouse for vegetables or,
Like to start plants, yeah.
okay, yeah, yeah, not flowers or anything like that. Don't know.
I still, I don't know.
Okay.
Keep the options open, but,
Yeah.
right now it's probably vegetable plants and then, nursery stock. I started to get into that and
Yes,
it's
you
pretty
did.
lucrative.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whether it be arborvitae's or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't know if this is the same board for the address. Or is that the
Oh, I think the building department, I think, was gonna be dealing with that. If you want to explain to them your house is subdivided off from the remainder of the land, and he wants a separate address for the land and the business. So I believe he'd go through building inspector to get an address.
Right, so it is already pre-divided.
Yeah, it's already.
You know, so the barn is separate
on
The
the,
barn is, with, farther
acreage.
along here, there's a map. Your copy might not, is it in color? Kind
No.
of.
that's our color printer.
Well,
This is colored
there's a
again.
red line around it, which is actually, this
Oh, yeah.
property is in APR. And that's the differentiation between the two lots.
Mhm.
And then.
So where's the house?
The house is this.
Okay, so
You didn't know what?
So the barn.
Yeah, here's your barn,
Oh, they're
and
vegetable.
here's the house, basically.
Farmed.
And what you want to do, the house is here.
Mm-hmm.
The house, is the address for the house already?
87.
Okay, and so you're gonna do 89 probably here, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever he says, that's not
yeah,
us.
yeah.
So
So the next house is 123.
Okay. And that would be the building inspector.
Yeah, okay.
That information. Um,
Did you guys want to see them? The red line is the,
Whole property.
yeah, and this is the barn and the house is here.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. She doesn't need to see anything.
Unless you want to.
Try to give me back the pamphlet.
did you buy?
No, that's a dream.
Okay.
That's when the hay production ramps up and I don't have help from the neighbors.
Yeah. That is a lot of hay, a lot of fields. to mow.
Yeah. That is actually a unit that they say.
Oh my God, what is
you know,
that?
50 to 60
Is it
beds.
stink bug? Yes. Oh,
It's common acreage that starts to be cost effective.
it's gonna come back.
That unit, if you pull behind the tractor and it puts 4 bales in a row
Okay.
and then drops 4 bales at a time, and then you have another tractor with a loader that picks
Pick
up
them up.
with the hooks
Yeah.
you've seen.
Yeah,
And it picks up the first 4 and they go to the next set on lash, then you lock on 8 and then you put all those on a trailer.
and they're square bales, you know what I'm saying? Are they the big square bale?
No, they're normal.
Regular, normal square bale.
So an afternoon of picking up hay is, you know, a guy bailing and the guy picking it up.
Oh, yeah. That too. Throwing it onto the trailer.
So,
Thank you.
well, it looks like what you want to do is permitted.
Mhm.
So I think you're good. Right?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was he was concerned about getting a separate address,
Yeah.
but that we don't give addresses out, that's building.
Okay.
So,
So I go and,
see Wendell,
okay.
And
tell,
you're all, you're really all set, because you're, you know, you're a farm business, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
With this, you know, package that you provided. to
If I
us.
wanna then, do something in the barn for, do I have to come back to this or a greenhouse, or is that still building?
That would be building, okay? Greenhouses, no problem, because it's agricultural.
Okay.
The same thing in the barn, depending on what were you thinking about, building a little store
Yeah,
in the barn.
have you been there?
I've been, yes.
Okay, like up the ramp and then like off to the left
Mhm.
and making like a man door
Yeah,
inside one of the doors and then people can walk freely into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't foresee a problem with that, okay? Either way, you're well within your,
Ag restriction.
the agricultural, yeah.
Yeah.
Right to farm.
The right to farm, absolutely, and you're well within the boundaries of the bylaw.
Okay,
More than 5 acres, and yes, so
Alright.
you're good.
and then, do I then fall under, commercial sign restrictions?
So that would be up to,
Building inspector.
the building inspector, sure, of what you're allowed,
Okay,
okay? And again, I would hope leeway
Mhm.
as opposed to, you know, because it is agricultural, yeah.
Yeah.
You want something a little bigger than,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
Yeah. Because it is a farm business or, yeah, more than farm stand.
Good?
Yeah. Any other questions?
Nope.
No,
All right. Thank you.
good Clark, yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let us know when you get those arborvitae's, buy some.
Got some already.
He does, yeah. Take care now. Thank you
good night.
again.
Last but not least, come on down. Thanks for your patience.
Process of elimination, yes.
So I'm Justin.
That's not
Yeah.
Tracy, is it?
That's not Tracy.
No.
That's Chris Quackenbush.
How you doing?
Oh, Chris Quackenbush. Was your father on our board?
Yes, he was. He was on, I think, the zoning board
Yeah.
years ago.
No, planning board. I worked with
Planning
them.
board, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Remember John, were you on it then?
I think,
Quackenbush?
yeah,
And Jim, James.
Yeah, James
Yeah.
Quackenbush. Yeah.
yeah. They lived on South Road.
Yeah.
South Road, that's right.
Yeah, they, as soon as I bought a house in Hampton, they moved
They-
them.
Ah.
They didn't want my kids getting off the bus at their house.
Yes.
So Tracy is under the weather and we also have a 10-month-old, so we couldn't find any care, so she's at home. This is Chris. He has done some building for us and we plan on using him for this project. Although we don't have a plan yet. We're still trying to suss out what the rules will be for this because it's an ADU. And we're not going to present it until after February when,
Thank you.
yes.
So the question I have, 273, there's already a dwelling there. Obviously.
Correct. It's a pre-existing non-conforming, I would think, only based on, it's a little offset on the property. It's 150 feet frontage, but it's to the left. I didn't have any way to print anything off today.
That's okay. I'm gonna go in.
But if you go to like
273.
if you pull up Google Maps, you're gonna get the old house.
Yeah.
But they rebuilt it on the same foundation, so it's in the same place. But on one side, looking at the front of the house, on the left side, it's 23 feet from the property line. And on the right side, it's about 65. And we'd be working off the right side, going directly back from the garage. So that we're not actually making it any more non-conforming. But yes, Tracy's parents moved to South Carolina. We had a baby. And now they want to come back for better healthcare. And to be with the kid.
All about the kids.
Yep. We're 45, brand new baby. And her parents are, they're mid-70s, so it's the right thing to do.
Okay.
Really, I guess what we're here for is just trying to figure out what the requirements are, what's going to be allowed.
Right.
Right now, the plan is to do, we're looking at probably 800 square feet. The max is allowed is 900.
Right.
Based on the half of the gross square footage of the house, which is 2,200 square feet. So half of that, the smaller is 900. We'd be doing a bathroom, a kitchen, and living space. And probably working off the mudroom, which is just to the left of the garage on the house, and going straight back.
So it's gonna be a standalone?
It's going to be attached.
Oh, it is.
To the house, but with a separate entrance on the back.
Okay.
On the back.
On the back side.
There's got to be a little corridor or,
correct.
Hallway or corridor. I'm telling you what's
Okay.
right now what we're talking about, okay? So that'll be a separate entrance, corridor, walkway. And I'm going to propose, I'm going to give you a heads up, I'm proposing that you have to have this totally separate parking also. You can't share parking with primary residence.
Okay.
Okay.
No, and this is why we're here, because we have an architect lined up. We don't know what to tell the architect to do.
So the other thing, go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Technically,
You can do
this isn't a ADU because it's attached,
It is still an ADU.
but the definition of an ADU is a self-contained housing unit.
They're attaching it.
This would be,
So
attached stores, it does say that.
so it's gray.
Like it's an addition and
That's
it
what-
shares a
Does-
wall or something.
We changed,
so
Not an ADU. Just expanding the house.
you're just putting an addition on?
Well, it would be an addition, but with a whole separate, because our stairs are very steep.
So, yeah,
We want to give them living space on the first floor.
so my thought is,
Utilities.
yeah, oh, separate utilities.
Separate utilities, we have a generator, we're gonna have to do a switch for them as well.
So they're gonna have their own meter?
I think so,
Hmm,
unless I don't know what the requirement is with the February change. It seems that the Mara Healy, I guess it's not Mara Healy.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
Baker who's put this in
Yeah.
motion, maybe both. But it sounds like, they want you to have separate utilities.
Right, but that's, I think that's if it's a standalone
Okay,
building. If this is attached to your house,
You can share it.
you can share utilities.
So you would. have to
Unless
make
it's up
sure
to you
your
if you want to
septic
share
was-
utilities.
You'd
and
have
you-
to make sure septic.
So
is-
septic would have to go
Yeah,
through.
we verified, I believe you're set.
4-bed,
Yeah,
and we have a 3-bed house.
yeah, so they'd be adding one.
So an ADU, it maintains a separate entrance, what you're saying, right? Either directly from the outside or through an entry hall or corridor shared with the principal dwelling sufficient to meet the requirements of the state building code for safe egress.
Correct, and well,
So,
sorry.
go ahead.
What our plan is actually, well, I guess the law is meant to create extra housing in the state. We'd never do that. It's more along the lines, we're gonna use it for our parents, and then we're gonna take it over as part of our house living space when that is no longer needed.
Right.
But that's why we're talking about doing interior access as well as exterior for their own needs, because
Interior to your house or to the garage?
interior, we were initially talking to the garage, but the garage is attached to our mudroom, and the mudroom is very small, so we're gonna attach to the mudroom.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like it's just an addition to your house. That's what I'm getting.
It is, but if we put something that's like an apartment on, then we're risking going through the DBA to make it a family, I guess. Which is not our intent.
The issue becomes when you go to sell your home, the bank is going to ask if you've gotten an approval. Now, right now, because you're going to have separate living, you're going to have separate kitchen,
Correct.
separate bathroom.
Correct.
So those are some of the elements that become part of the ADU. Now, not fully understanding, you're saying you want it for your parents, right? Which is one of the reasons, provide homeowners with means of obtaining through tenants in an ADU rental income, companionship, security and services, and thereby enable them to stay more comfortably in homes and neighborhoods they might otherwise be forced to. So,
you would fall under the.
it is set up, an ADU is set up for family, but able to rent.
But all the requirements besides.
And it could be our forever house, and we could use it forever as additional space, but if we sell it, we want it to be able to sell it as having an ADU, or as they could rent it, or it's a beautiful place. We're looking out at the, what is it, Debney's farm?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's beautiful, and it could be a side out after a little apartment as well, but our intent is just using it for our family up front. And
Okay.
I don't know whether when you go to sell it, whether having it as an ADU versus having it as additional living space on the first floor makes a difference. Especially because you're gonna have two kitchens within a stone's throw of each other.
More like an in-law apartment than.
Correct.
Well, that's pretty much what it is.
It is.
Which would be considered an ADU, right?
Well, right now, it's legal to do,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could do it under the bylaw right now.
Right, right.
So
Right.
current bylaw, I think, would be limiting us to 500 square feet versus the
No.
900.
No, it's, the current bylaw says 900, I believe.
Our,
Half of the first floor square footage and he's got like 1,100 on his first floor.
Or,
I thought it said or.
Yeah, it said whatever is.
The ADUs will go up to 9.
Yeah, I think it's just.
but we can't, but according to the state law, I believe we can't, he can fall into the square footage of the new state law.
Right.
We can't, unreasonably regulate the size of it. I think it still falls under the new law for ADU, square footage wise, but it's called an accessory apartment until 2.1, I believe.
And our bylaw says, all it says is no greater than 800 square feet.
Right.
So
Doesn't say anything about.
our bylaw
Oh.
is 800.
And shall occupy no more than 1/3 of the total finished floor space.
Our bylaw right now, the accessory apartment shall be clearly subordinate to the single-family dwelling, shall be no greater than 800 square feet, and shall have no more than 2 bedrooms, shall occupy no more than 1/3 of the total finished floor space of the principal family.
That's total, it's not
Total
just first floor.
finished floor space, so you.
So it'd still be about 800 for us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, so half.
so,
of
I mean,
22.
you could actually do it right now under this bylaw.
Right.
That's
You could start tomorrow,
right.
as long as, it's under this bylaw is in effect.
Yes.
Yes.
And,
It was approved.
yeah, it's all approved and everything. So
And
if you design the structure to this bylaw, it then is approved.
And do you anticipate any changes once the state law comes in? To your own?
The only difference would be that right now we permit.
Which one? Now?
So currently you'd have,
I'm sorry, yes.
with this, you'd have to do a special permit. February 1st, you do not have to do a special permit.
Well, it doesn't make a difference because we don't have a design yet, so
You can go.
we're talking about
to work.
February anyway.
That's the architect's job.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
right.
we said
Building.
it.
An entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the different trick.
What?
For entrances.
Exactly.
It's sort of the.
So if we wait till February, which is pretty much guaranteed at this point, because we don't have any designs yet and we haven't even paid the architect yet, although we haven't picked out. It's the one who actually designed the house in the first place, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But if we go after February, the process is come here or submit a plan for building.
You don't have to come see us, right?
Well, we were requesting a site plan review in our new bylaw,
You're right,
but
sorry.
that won't be approved until May
Correct.
town meeting, so
So there's a little.
There's a.
So as
there is from February to May.
it's what we.
It's in limbo.
I call the Wild West.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a period of time where we have no town bylaw. The only guidance you really have is the state guidance.
And Joanne had said when we went over and stopped up by her office a couple weeks ago, that nobody's really come to this board yet about ADUs.
Right.
So I figured might as well,
Okay.
at least push the discussion.
Yeah. And I mean, I think, some of the differentiation between the bylaw now and in the future is you're gonna get an additional 100 square feet. But then if you're going to attach, you're gonna have to have a very separate from the house.
And there-
Entry. Generally, it's to the rear or side, the entry. There'll have to be one parking space allowed for the ADU And again, that was, can't share it with the primary. That was my thing. I don't want.
I want to ask
already
the
have
question.
that. I
Did you see
think we
that
do,
email that we can
yeah.
ask questions?
What's that?
I want to ask about the parking, that email you sent earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Good. So that's some of the differentiation. I'm gonna say the setbacks will probably still say the same.
Yes.
And
And the
it's,
setback requirement is 35, correct?
side setback is gonna be 35. The other thing is the setback with the new ADU bylaw will be, it has to be behind the front line. I think the front line of the house.
Yeah, right, so.
And that's
Front
what
of your
I was
house.
thinking anyway.
Yeah.
Cool.
You should, yeah.
So
Questions?
essentially, we could go either way with an addition versus an ADU. Depends on what we call it. Depends on, it could depend on how we pay for it based on their retirement planning as well, whether there are any implications. So we'll have to talk, I guess, further with financial people.
Yeah, you know, you'll have to, again, yeah. So I believe you're gonna gain a little bit when you go to an ADU, okay?
Right.
It depends on how you want to set it up.
Right, and it also depends, I guess, ADU, whether it could be attractive to somebody else down the road or could be a detriment. Of course, anything is.
Right, it depends on how you want to stake your property up. In other words, you sell your home, that person, if you have an ADU that's unattached, okay, that gives some people an advantage that they say, oh, it's got a already you. So I've got some rental income. Somebody else may say that's a detriment because I don't want to rent it. I have no family and they may not be. But they like primary residence and they can always bulldoze the ADU.
Or you can do an attachment to your house, and then now you're increasing your square footage on the first floor.
Right. Well, at least I have some ideas here.
I hope we didn't confuse you more than probably did. I'm confused.
Can it be attached and still be an ADU? That's the only thing I'm.
Yes.
Yes, okay, that.
Yeah, so it can be an attached ADU, but it has to have a separate entrance, in other words, a hall or a corridor or something to that.
So it says maintains a separate entrance either directly from the outside or through an entry hall or corridor shared with dwellings sufficient to meet the requirements. Yeah.
I'd assume two means of egress anyway, so you need at least two.
Yeah. That's a fire.
Right.
But a window can be.
Technically.
I have some places to start.
Okay.
And you did clarify, I appreciate it.
If you have more questions, feel free to come back.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll put you at the top of the agenda, but.
Tracy's the one who has. I wish she was here, but.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we're always open, second and fourth Fridays, third, Wednesdays, but.
And the building inspector,
Except for this.
good resource also.
Right.
Because you will have to
So
see
far,
him regardless. so.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for sticking around.
Thank
Maybe
you.
we'll see you back.
You will, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got some there.
Yeah, there's some, there's, I figure we could probably pick a table up front too for people on the. Thing.
Can I take one
I
in
said-
the folder?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna go to him.
I don't.
Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna need my shoulders killing.
All right, I kind of just read through the accessory dwelling unit bylaw, which was helpful.
Okay.
One.
Yes. Yeah. So you said there was an email or a question?
So there were.
I don't.
There's an email of.
Executive Housing of Livable Communities said that you can pose questions between or invites comments on draft regulations for ADUs. But kind of wanted to ask about, the parking,
Okay,
because I think it's a little gray.
it is.
So, we'll put a, we can ask between December 20th and January 10th.
Okay.
So,
So I guess the question would be, it's got to have a separate, I believe, separate parking, right?
right, but we were saying, if you've got like a driveway that's big enough and there's space for a spot, does that count as your spot?
Right, and I'm saying, from my point, okay, I'd like to see it separate, in other words. And the reason being is that family, I'm gonna say family, okay, yeah, you gotta get out in the middle of winter, move a car, this, that, you gotta move your car, okay? But then once you start, the possibility is that the family passes or goes away, now I start to rent.
A long-term rental, you don't want to share a driveway with a long.
I don't want to have to go and talk to the person. I don't want to, yeah, okay. So that's why I said my comment was the ADU parking space not be, used within an existing primary residence space. It can't use a,
Like I can park 8 cars in the driveway and they can all get out.
it doesn't matter. You got to have a separate parking space, as far as I'm concerned. That's me. So.
Yeah, I mean, and well, different parking space doesn't have to be paved, or can it just be?
That can be gravel,
Yeah,
sure.
just-
Yeah, that was my, just, in the future, I'm trying to think of the future.
Wendell just gave me this and it's like more clarification of it.
Okay,
And I just happened to see it, minimum parking requirement, a requirement of, as applicable, more than one additional on-street or off-street parking space for each protected use ADU on a lot if all portions of the lot are located outside 0.5 radius of the transit station.
oh, that was in there. Yeah, that's
An
the,
additional on-street or off-street parking space for each protected on a lot if the portion of the lot is located within. So it makes it sound like it does need its own.
no, that's if it's,
That's just saying if you're far, a mile, over half a mile.
Over half a mile from a transit.
You have
Yeah.
parking for it.
There's no buses in Hampden.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying,
have to have
we have, so we have to have a parking space.
Yes.
That's what I
Yeah,
was
no, we're
getting at.
just trying to say,
Yeah.
can it be shared with the primary residence?
I don't think so. I think it has to
No,
be separate.
I'm saying.
That's what I want to find out.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
My comment is we can go a little bit further and say, no. They may say it has to be one parking space, okay? But it doesn't define it. And I'm saying further definition is that it cannot be used for parking. That's.
Yeah.
It has to be its own.
But it could share, so then do we have, can it share a driveway?
It can share a driveway, but it's not going to be a common driveway either.
Well, so that's, it just gets funky.
What's
It
that?
just gets a little,
Well, shared driveway would be between separate lots of land, not.
Common, a common would be
Yeah.
two separate.
That's right.
Correct.
Common driveway would be between
So
separate lots of land. This is on one lot.
It's
So-
one lot, and that's, it has the primary residence driveway, and you can spur off of that, or you can even make a spot designated for the ADU residents.
I say leave it vague.
No,
And then,
No.
no, I say, say
Go
that
ahead.
they need a parking spot, leave it vague, and then just have, when they do their plan, say this is where they're gonna park.
no. It's,
But if we leave it vague, we can't tell them where.
but,
If we leave the bylaw vague, we can't have them come in here and say, you need to have a separate parking spot.
but the thing for the ADU, is it gonna require a special permit? No.
No, that's right.
right, so that's why
So
we
you
have to.
need to define it. That's why you need to define, saying.
That's
If they're not coming, or
They,
is it a site, we're requesting site plan approval, right?
no,
I thought we were, or
Yeah,
site
we
plan
are.
review.
Site plan review.
I think we put that in.
Yeah, we did.
Did-
Subject to site plan approval.
So that we could see the parking, I think.
Well, I think so we could see all of it.
got it.
Yeah. And just have a good idea.
That's how Wilbraham worded it.
At least one off-street parking space must be provided for all ADUs accessed by the existing driveway. Parking may be in a driveway or garage.
That's what we,
Garage would require a special permit.
Right.
Yeah, to build one, yeah.
Unless they already have a garage and they say that's. the
right,
designated
that's the
spot.
designated spot.
I would say then that the ADU would need to be attached to the garage. If they want to use their primary residence garage as parking for the ADU.
No, but John's right.
Detached.
Well, but John's right, like what happens in 20 years when the people sell the house and then
Right.
Yeah.
that's your spot, it's somebody, I don't know.
Yeah.
What if the garage is detached?
This doesn't make a difference.
I'm just saying, and they say that's the spot right there.
My thing is that my reasoning is that in the future.
Yeah.
When it becomes a rental, and even in the beginning of it. You want to be able to define, say that here's your spot for parking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To avoid as much conflict.
You got it, exactly.
Vagueness in these bylaws as well.
That was my only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have.
The existing, what we had, what you gave us, Joanne.
I had a question. We just spoke about, this. So in here, we have a relationship to non-conformities. If an ADU is proposed for a pre-existing non-conforming primary residence, which I think is what we just had in front of us, the requirements of section 4 of this zoning bylaw shall apply, provided that no special permit may consider the ADU use or impose conditions on such use. And I was trying to understand, what does that mean practically? No special so now you've got, you've got an ADU associated with the non-conforming primary residence. We're saying that the permit.
Because
We can't.
Because section 4 is making something more non-conforming.
Say that.
Section 4 means you're making something more non-conforming. So if you add an ADU to something that's non-conforming, you are making it more non-conforming. So that's why it's saying you can't require a special permit for an ADU even if you're making it more non-conforming.
I think it's saying that the special
And you can't require a special permit.
I thought it was saying that you can require a permit, but that permit cannot
Have anything to do
consider
with
the
it?
ADU use or impose conditions beyond what's here. So I think
So
it's non-conforming, you have to come for a special permit, but these rules still apply. We can't.
Right.
We can't limit the use or the conditions of that ADU with that permit. It's just a permit saying.
It's just a
They're
permit
allowing you to make
non-conforming.
it more non-conforming.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nope.
It's just a permit saying you're making it more non-conforming.
Conforming.
And you came to the
It's a
planning board.
review by a board
Yeah.
that says that we recognize this is a non-conforming. And that we are not going to impose any additional requirements beyond what are.
ADU.
Right.
I think reading this might confuse people, but
It will,
explain it.
it will, Patrick, definitely, because when I first read it.
Yeah.
Now,
Provided that no special permit, yeah.
Now, can we make it,
Go ahead.
can we make it something understandable? I don't-
Reword it to say, provided that no special permit may consider the use or impose additional conditions on such use for the ADU. I think having the word, the ADU use is a little clunky.
Can't consider the ADA use or impose conditions on such use.
There's no.
Should be a comma in there. You know what I mean? It's not, provided that no special one may consider the ADA use, comma, or semicolon, or impose conditions on such use.
I think it should just say that ADU application has no relationship to non-conforming uses,
Yeah.
to existing non-conforming. Right, that's what it is.
It is. Just tell me how you want to word it, I'll change it.
Oh, I would end the sentence after
Well,
apply.
legal's got to review this
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
I would.
It's almost like no
understand
special
apply.
permit may restrict the ADU use or impose
Right.
conditions on its use.
Right.
Like a
Yeah.
That's what
separate,
it's saying.
I would put a period after apply.
yeah,
And then.
that's what I would.
No
shall-
special
No special
permit,
permit
take out
considered.
provided that.
Yeah.
And just, no special permit may
May-
consider
may-
the,
May restrict or something to the, or,
may consider the use or impose conditions on such use
okay,
of the ADU.
yeah, that's better.
Yeah, so a period after apply.
Yeah.
And then you're saying,
Scratch, provide that,
Yeah. And then
No
just say,
special
no
permit.
special permit.
may consider the use,
You're writing it down, because I'm not getting it.
I've got it,
All right,
the use or impose conditions on such use of the. Yeah.
ADU application.
Of the ADU.
that make it a little bit more clear.
It helps, certainly, yeah, makes it more clear, I think.
ADU application. Got it.
Got it.
what the only change? What, did you see where I put red down on the bottom?
Yeah, what?
Because I don't know, the construction of new garage to serve as an ADU will require special permit from the planning board under section. Where do we require? Is that the accessory building?
Yeah.
So
The
section, I don't have my book with me. Yeah. For garages or,
Accessory building, I thought it said it was
6.11.
Well, I was-
40,
Oh, I'm thinking of.
No, I think it's 6.1.
6.1, page 40.
I
don't know the page.
Sounds familiar. That's where I was.
When?
What?
Page 40, 6.1.
Yes.
Well, it says it's a garages or accessory.
11.
Private
Dash one.
garages, yeah, shall be limited to install.
Well,
One is
We're putting this as 6.11 bullet number
Three.
3.
Well,
So we're referring
here.
this, should we just take, huh?
it's gonna go right here.
The whole bylaw is?
Yeah.
But then we're referencing the same section
That's fine.
under section 6.1. So it'd just be under section 6.1.
So 6.113.
Well, that's. Oh, shit. The construction of a new garage or service requires special permit from the planning board under section 6.1, because isn't it just bullet 1 and 2?
Yeah, it's 6.1, 6.11.
1 and then
1,
2,
2.
1, 2, yeah. So
So it'll be 3.
it's just how 3, no,
Oh.
3 is where we're putting the new accessory apartment bylaw.
Yes.
It's gonna be 6.1, 6.113. But this is referencing letter E, is saying the construction of a new garage to serve as an ADU shall require to serve an ADU. That would be under section, this section 1 and bullet 2, right?
Yeah.
1, yeah, because the other
Oh.
one's for
Yeah.
animals.
accessory Building, yeah.
So that's all we have to do is reference 6.1, 6.11 bullet 1, right?
I don't think so.
I do.
No. Because it says here, private garages shall be limited to as many stalls plus 1.
So we were just doing 6.1, right?
Yeah, so if you did 6.111,
Right, that's what we said.
That's what I wrote.
but it says, it gets, no. Let me.
Well,
So
somebody,
you get into, in addition, all accessory buildings shall not exceed blah, blah, blah. I think if you're going to do that, either one, you're gonna have to modify this private garage thing for ADU, because you're not gonna let an ADU have 3 stalls, are you?
Oh, so if we put something about a garage in this ADU bylaw as opposed to referencing
yeah,
the existing bylaw.
Yeah.
I like that.
I would do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we can if saying parking maybe in a driveway or garage,
And, I would say the construction of the garage serve an ADU shall require a special permit from the planning board. And that's what you need,
So, got it?
rather than try and push it into a section.
Yep.
Does that sound reasonable?
You did get it, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah, half the ground floor area of the main dwelling.
Yeah.
That's a lot for an ADU for a garage serving an ADU.
Right, so you could have a 400-foot, a 450-foot square foot garage.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm saying.
There's no other sections in our bylaw that deals with a garage. That's what I was.
I think so.
Okay.
It's my garage.
the main dwelling. So if we directed them here instead of 20.
My garage is 20 by 21, that's 420.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, an 1,100 square foot garage for a 900 square foot ADU. I need it.
Okay, are we?
Yeah, I just leave it as a special permit.
Yep,
On
agreed.
Yeah.
What's our next step for this?
Should we have town council review this now?
Yes.
Send it to town council with these changes?
Yeah, I'd send it to town council and have her do a quick review. And when we finalize what she comes back with, pardon me,
Can we have a public hearing?
we may want to, we may want to add some stuff, subtract some stuff.
I don't have much time though.
And yeah,
Time is a problem.
Um,
Do you have an updated schedule? Yeah.
no, they're just, Monday night, they had their meeting. They're gonna come up with a schedule soonish, right, John?
No, I'm talking for us. For
Oh, next year?
You mean
I
the
thought you meant
meeting
the warrant
schedule? I have it half done. I didn't finish it for tonight. You'll have it next January, which is the second.
Second
It's,
Wednesday, June.
is it I don't know what it is.
Well,
off the
the
top of
first
my head.
is,
I started it, but I didn't finish it.
the first is a Wednesday.
The 8th.
The eighth is our first.
Eighth, yeah, so that'll be the first one. I'll give it to you at that one.
All right, let's just do meeting minutes really quick. I'm gonna ask that everybody reads through battery energy storage for our next meeting.
say that.
Read through what Joanne sent around for battery energy storage for the next meeting, like actually print it and have it
Marked up.
marked up. So then we'll be a little bit faster than us all reading it here.
Yeah, there was quite a few of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't want us all sitting here reading 900 pages. Do your homework, unless you want to stay here.
Work.
That's what I do. I go to work.
January 8th, yes.
Well, I drive in circles, so.
What's your, you go skiing usually?
Oh, that's what I have my schedule. I wanted to tell you, yes. Of the days I was taking off.
By minimum.
Just email me. It's fine.
I don't have to say in here. Okay, good. I'll email you.
Joanne,
Oh, the 18th.
you know what I'm gonna ask
Hang
you?
on 1 second. The 18th, I have to go to Boston, so I'm taking that off. Yes, John. Sorry.
You're good?
Yeah, I had to tell her I have to take off the 18th for a doctor's appointment.
Next one.
Okay, 432?
Huh?
Did we get 432?
No, I don't have, I knew that's what you were gonna ask me. No. I can shoot her an email and ask her,
Don't worry.
but I did say to her that they were looking at getting it for Springtown meeting, so maybe that's at her schedule.
Okay. Hopefully, we'll see.
Just so you know, I sent Article 1 and Article 18. I got the packets prepared to send, to give to Eva, that go to the Attorney General. Tomorrow I'll finalize that. They're all ready. I'm just gonna review them one last time for Attorney General approval.
For what?
Whenever something's approved at town meeting, I have this process I have to do on a form that Attorney General gives us. It's quite a process.
You had some
Copies of everything, labeled attachment, labeled the article, and that was in the ass. But I got them ready. I'll give those to her.
Okay, I'm good with this.
We don't have anything else. Trying to think of anything else before the end of the year. because I don't come back to the sixth. So I don't even know what we'll have on the agenda by the eighth, but because I'd have to post it on that day.
Well, we know we won't have a public hearing.
Thank God.
Oh, on the sixth.
We can't have a
Yeah.
public hearing
You have to
probably until
post it on the
February.
6th.
I have to post it on. the
People haven't
6th.
gotten to you by now, you won't be.
No, right, right. Won't be a public hearing. As of now, we have nothing. The only thing we could possibly have would be the review of town council's comments if she has them. No, I doubt it. But
Well, maybe she will.
maybe,
Maybe.
she's got the other thing too. That's on my minutes because that's like my bottom priority.
I didn't.
And Christina, my main thing now is to make sure I spell
I
your,
did double, I
I
did look for.
spell your name right.
Hey.
I did that already.
Read it.
Yes.
Shredded,
As like noodles.
You make the motion?
Without them.
Okay, I got it.
Second.
Okay.
I move that we approve the regular meeting minutes of the Hampton Planning Board, November 13th, 2024.
My second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he has that.
Whatever you want. Go ahead.
Thank